Another place where weighted averages or weighted means is often seen is in grade point averages. So when someone says I have a 4.0 grade point average or I have a 3.7 grade point average, essentially they're telling you that that value has been calculated based on the number of credits they've been taking and the grade in the courses that they've been taking. And it is itself a measure of a weighted average. And so what we want to do now is to use our understanding of weighted averages, weighted means, to calculate someone's GPA. So we have a course schedule here from someone who took 5 classes, then intro psych, 3 credits long. They had an A&P lecture that was 3 credits. They had an A&P lab, 1 credit, and had a math and a nutrition course. Each of those were 3 credits. Now, we also see the grades for each of those courses. Every one of those grades is associated with a number value. And this picture down below was actually taken from our student handbook. And what we see is that, a 4.0 is associated with an A, 3.0 is a B, 2.0 is a C, 1.0 is a D, and everything in between. Now, not all schools have pluses and minuses, but our institution does. So when someone says, I earned an A, that's associated with a 4.0 grade point. So every place I see an A, this is associated with a 4.0, or just a 4. If you really want to just write a 4, that's fine. A B, that is, according to this chart, a 3.0. A B plus is a 3.3. An A minus is a 3.7, and a B is a 3.0. Now we can calculate the grade point average based on weights, a weighted mean or a weighted average. Now in this case, the weights aren't a percentage, but the weights for each one of these is determined by the credit hours. So how many credits that class was. Now, in this particular semester, this individual took a total number of credits. If we sum all those up, of 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3, this person took a total number of credits of 13. So they had 13 credits. And again, there are multiple ways that we can think about this. 3 out of those 13 credits are going to be associated with a score or a value of 4.0. 3 out of those 13 are associated with a 3.0, and so forth. We know, based on our previous work, that we can calculate a grade point average, a weighted mean, by taking the weight times the value. And again, in this problem, the weights are the credits, the number of credits. So we would get 3 times the value associated with that, which is just 4.0, plus 3 times 3.0, plus 1 credit was the weight, and they earned a 3.3 grade points in that particular course, plus 3 times 3.7, plus 3 credits of 3.0. And I'm just going to write 3. If you want to put parentheses around those just to help yourself organize, that's completely fine. And then we want to divide by the total number, which we know, again, previously we were associating this with a percentage, so the total percentage was 100%. But in this particular case, the total weights, the total sum of all the credits is 13. So in my calculator, I'm going to go ahead and sum. I'm going to multiply all these values here, and I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to see what I get. So I put that in my calculator, and I got 44.4 divided by, I don't know why I wrote a 3, 44.4, and I'm going to divide that by the total number of credits, which is 13, and I'm going to round this to the hundredths place. So when I put that in my calculator, I get 3.41, and it continues, but I'm going to round that up to a 3.42. So this semester, this person's grade point average, GPA, was 3.42. We calculated this by considering the weights as the credits, right? So the total number of credits that they were taking was 13. 3 out of those 13 earned 4.0. 3 out of those 13 had a 3.0. Actually, 6 did, because there were 2 courses where they had a 3.0. And other courses, a 1 credit course, had a grade point associated with 3.3, and a math class, 3 credits, an A minus, which was a 3.7. Putting them into our grade point, our weighted mean or weighted average approach of calculating these values gets us to a 3.42. In this next example, we're going to do something similar. So if you want to pause this video, go ahead, try to calculate this individual's grade point average. Looks like they're taking a little bit less credits. Just very quickly, it looks like if I add all these up, they're taking 10 credits this semester, so that's our total amount. But if you want to use that to calculate the GPA, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to continue right now. So I found that they have a number of 10 credits this semester, and each of these courses had their own number of grade points that they earned. And again, that was dependent on their grade. So a 4.0 is what we have for an A minus is a 3.7. A B minus, according to this, is a 2.7 grade point, and a C is a 2.0. So I can take the weights, the weight in this case is the number of credits, and multiply by the value or the grade points associated with that course. So there were 3 credits, or a weight of 3, that had a GPA value or a grade point value of 4. I had another 3 credits that had a value of 2.7. I had 1 credit that had a value of 2 or 2.0. And then I had 3 credits, that had a value of 3.7. And I'm going to divide that then by the sum of all the weights, in this case the total number of credits, which we get to be 10. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate the numerator, and it looks like I get 33.2. And I'm going to divide that by 10, so I get this to be exactly 3.32. This individual's GPA this semester was a 3.32.